Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
And I'm Gary with Brightengale.
And today we're talking about the Yamaha TF5 versus the Behringer Wing. So anyway, we recently did a video that was comparing the TF5 to the X32. A lot of people said that they would like to see the TF5 compared to the Wing. To be honest, they don't quite line up in the same way. We'll get into that. This Wing has had an unlucky life. This has been returned to us after it was broken. We had to ship it back to Behringer, and it got damaged in shipping, so it's got some dents here and whatnot. That's not going to affect our overview video today. But yeah, that is some truth about this particular unit. It's kind of unlucky. It was broken and then broken again.
Yeah. I think maybe the repair shop was using the old concussive maintenance method on it with a hammer. I don't know. Yeah.
I think this was good old UPS.
Oh yeah.
Good old UPS.
Do we want to throw them under the bus? Maybe.
Yeah.
We're throwing them under the bus.
So this box showed up super destroyed. So we rejected the shipment. And so it went back to UPS. UPS just put it in a bigger box and shipped it back to us. And then we opened it and there was a busted box inside with a busted console.
Yeah, we didn't reject the good box though, because we get lots of boxes.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
We get lots of boxes every day. We didn't know there was a bad box inside the good box.
Yeah.
It was camouflaged. So let's talk about what the Wing is. The Wing is Behringer's kind of newest console. At this point, it's been out, what, 3-ish years, 2 years?
3 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It is a kind of a fundamental different approach to consoles. They're actually taking kind of the approach of what larger, more premium consoles do. One of the big ways you can tell that is they have removed a lot of the physical I/O from the device. So this only has 8 inputs and 8 outputs on it. However, I'm not saying that this is an 8x8 mixer. This actually supports hundreds of channels. But that is something that you would see more commonly in, a Digico or higher-end Midas consoles, is where you are dependent at this point on a stage box, which makes sense. In most applications, you would want to have your digital stage box with all your microphone preamps close to the stage, and you would have your console at front of house. The Yamaha TF5 100% supports that. They've got the TO stage boxes that go along with them. But this does have a full complement of audio I/O on it and has 32 ins and 32 outs, so you do not need the stage box. If you want more than 8 in, 8 out with the Behringer Wing, which if you're buying a Behringer Wing, you probably want more than 8 in, 8 out, you're going to need to expand that either with a networked audio Dante or...
You got some auxes in here too.
Oh yeah.
You could do a weird thing. Yeah.
You're going to need a stage box.
I think that one's only 16 out on the console.
Oh, you're right. This one is 16 out on the console. That was my bad. Thanks for making me not a liar.
Yep.
Gary, let's talk about the Wing.
Yeah, so some cool things about the Wing is you have tons of options for digital I/O. You actually have 3 AES-50 ports back here. You can also put a Dante card in there and get it Dante cooking. And there's one other thing.
Stage Connect.
Stage Connect. Yeah. You can do Stage Connect on there. There's a hole for that over here. Yeah, right. Yeah. Stage Connect, SC, it's labeled.
So Stage Connect is Behringer's new digital audio kind of connection. And using a standard XLR cable, which traditionally is one microphone, one cable, they're using the same cabling to do 32 by 32 channels of audio distribution. So there's going to be newer stage boxes coming out that instead of using an Ethernet cable are going to use a Stage Connect, which is just use your standard XLR, plug it in, and you have multi-channel audio into the console with a robust cable, robust connector.
I guess
that's actually pretty cool.
Daisy chainable too? Is that part of the thing?
I don't remember.
Fair
Somebody knows, or go watch the actual Midas and Behringer video about
flop
Stage
it down
Connect.
there in the comments.
We'll put it in the comments.
Yeah.
They know.
Tons of digital I/O, which definitely makes up for our 8 mic preamps here. We can have more out in the world. Also, you can customize all 3 of these fader banks to just be whatever you need in your life. They don't have to be, inputs, buses, masters. You can kind of do whatever you want to do on the layers. Super customizable to work with your workflow. You want to do here's the lead singer and here's the lead singer's reverb. If you want to do that, that's cool, man. It's not my thing. I generally have, my kick drum right here, but you do you. Yeah, pretty cool.
Let's talk about the workflow. So the workflow on the TF5 is pretty simplified, pretty straightforward, not hugely flexible. So, you've got your channel faders, your selects, your on buttons, and then most things are done through the touchscreen if you're adjusting EQs or dynamics. You also have the touch and turn knob. So very, very simple, very, very easy to use. The Wing is super customizable. So in addition to being able to choose what is in each group of these fader banks, you're also choosing what these knobs do. You can choose on the fly. So you can choose kind of like the X32, whether you want it to be your dynamics or your EQ. They're all right here. And then you have a full complement of touch-sensitive knobs at the bottom. So depending on what you're doing on the screen, these are touch-sensitive, will give you quick reaction to what's going on if you're adjusting EQ, dynamics, compression, aux sends, very quick access to those knobs. That is much, much more customizable, quick access to a lot of functions, where this is less customizable. You're not gonna have that quick, go grab a knob and turn it. So I would say for, both experienced and inexperienced operators, that could be really handy.
Yeah.
The Wing has a lot of options. So I would say you probably want someone with some experience to actually configure it first, get it set it up. But then I think once it is configured, I don't think it would be a bad choice for a less experienced operator to use. However, I think getting it off the ground is probably a little bit more difficult than the TF5.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Another cool feature that I actually really like on this is, I don't know how to get to it from behind the screen, but you can actually solo a band on the EQ and listen to that. So if you're like looking for some wonkiness and you don't have to like juice it up real hard, you shouldn't do that in a live situation anyway. But like, you don't have to do that. You just solo it, listen to it on your Q mix, and you can hear, the boom, funk, it's the snare drum funk, badly tuned. You can go ahead and crank that out of there. So that's a feature I think is really cool on this console. Yeah.
And let's talk about use cases. So I don't think at this time, and it probably will not change for the Yamaha TF5. It may change for the Behringer Wing. At this point, if you have a venue with lots of guest engineers coming in and you're looking for something that most people know how to use, it's probably not either one of these consoles.
Yeah.
At that point, you'd probably still be better off with something like an X32, or there's many other standard consoles. Avid consoles are industry standards. The more premium Yamahas, the CLs, QLs, or QLs and CLs, they're more rider friendly. Digico is more rider friendly. Yeah. Those are all much more expensive consoles though. But as far as consoles in this budget, if you have a venue, a small venue with guest engineers coming in, you may be better served by an X32 because they're going to have show files. They can come in, plug in their thumb drive, load their show, and move on. That being said, this is Behringer's new product, so I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming years, this kind of becomes
kind of one console. Of the standard, here the new X32, as it were, right? Like here's that level console that you can kind of get your hands on and everybody knows.
Yeah, and Behringer has said that this is not a replacement to the X32, but this is another product alongside the X32, and they're going to update the X32 separately. And because this does actually a little bit more, and the X32 does have some like DAW control if you want to use it in conjunction with your computer for recording. This integrates that further. You can even tell by the big, shuttle knob over there where you can scrub around and do things. You even have a dedicated DAW control button over there. So they see this as kind of a more multi-function product than the X32, I think. As far as reliability goes, I cannot recommend the Wing. We haven't had a lot come through our doors. We've only had 5 come through our doors, but 2 have had to go back for a repair.
Yeah.
1 is still out for repair for over a year. This one just came back, and like I said, it came back from repair. It got damaged in shipping. That's not Behringer's fault, but it's been a sad story. We've sold many, many more Yamaha TFs.
I actually have a story about one of those. Yeah, one of these was living someplace, and I mean, it was off at the time, but the roof leaked. And it got a bath.
Huh?
Yeah. Dried it out for a couple days, fired back on. Yeah, party on.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't think this one's bath ready yet.
No. Yeah, and I assume, with more development, these are going to become more reliable. When the X32 first came out, we had reliability issues there as well. So I think it's going to be okay. For this particular one, it was the touchscreen. The touchscreen was having issues, which was causing the console to act erratically. And that was the same issue that we had in the other one that was damaged.
Yeah.
So we've sent, 40% of the Behringer Wings that we've received back to Behringer to get fixed, which is not a high number. 5 consoles total. We sent 2 back. But percentage-wise, that's significant. It's not something to scoff at. So I think this is a super cool console. I think it has a ton of potential. At this point in time, I can't really recommend it. I would say if you want to live in the Behringer world, the X32 is definitely the bet. If you want something more premium than the X32 and you like that world, Midas is the place to go, whether it's M32 or up to the Pro Series or Heritage D, all those consoles are better. But yeah, so those are current thoughts. Yamaha TF5 versus Wing, I think they're fundamentally different products, but you asked for it, so here it is.
Price-wise, these are actually pretty close in price, but like Adam touched on earlier, this does not have a lot of I/O built into it. It's got, 8 ins, 8 outs, 8 aux ins, 8 aux outs, and yeah, that's all our gazintas and gazoutas. Whereas this guy, like Adam said, 32 ins, 16 outs. Really, you could get by without getting a stage box having this console, and unless you're using this for like a 3-piece band, it's not going to get you there without having a stage box.
Like I said, I think this is a very cool console. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited as it continues to be developed and be made more reliable. But right now, if I had to pick between one or the other to spend my money on and depend on, I'm going to pick the Yamaha or an X32. So anyway, if you need help deciding what is the right console for you, for your application, feel free, give us a call, leave a comment below, see us on our website, brightengale.com. Anyway, thanks, and we'll see you next time.